A limit does not ask what a function equals at a point. It asks where the function is heading as you close in on that point. Walk in from the left, one step at a time. The heights close in on 1. That is the left-hand limit, and it only ever looks at inputs below the point. Now walk in from the right instead. Again, the heights close in on 1, this time using only inputs above the point. Both sides agree, so the limit exists, and it is 1. That is the rule for existence. If the two sides ever disagree, there is no limit at all. Here is what heading toward really means. Pick any tolerance around the limit, however small. Call it epsilon. Then you must be able to find a width around the point, call it delta, that keeps the curve inside that tolerance. Inside the delta strip, every height lands inside the epsilon band. If that works for every epsilon, the limit is L. Written out, that is the precise definition of a limit. The one-sided limits use the very same wording. Only the allowed inputs change. Now continuity. A function is continuous at a point when three things all hold. All three together are exactly this one line. Break any one of them, and the graph has a break. There are two ways that happens. The first break. This function is a straight line everywhere except at one single input. At 1, the formula gives 0 over 0, so there is no value there at all. But both sides still head for the same height, 2. The limit exists even though the function does not. One missing point is a removable discontinuity. Fill the hole with the limit, and the break is gone. The second break. Here, the graph is built from two pieces that do not meet. Coming from the left, the heights head for 1. Coming from the right, they head for 2 instead. Both one-sided limits exist, and both are perfectly finite. They simply disagree. That is a jump discontinuity, and the size of the jump is the gap between the two sides. The most famous jump of all is the heavy sidestep function, which switches from 0 to 1 at the origin. From the left, the height stays at 0. From the right, it stays at 1. Two finite sides that disagree. So by the rule we just wrote, this is a jump of size 1. Notice the function does have a value at 0. It is the limit that is missing. Sometimes the heights do not settle on a number at all. Close in on 0 from either side and the values grow past any number you care to name. We write that the limit is infinity, but infinity is not a number. It is shorthand for growing without bound. That vertical line the curve hugs is a vertical asymptote. Here is the precise version. Instead of a tolerance, you are handed a height, and you must beat it. For 1 over x squared, a height of 1,000,000 needs a width of 1,000th. Every height has a width that works. Now drop the square. 1 over x behaves differently on the two sides. From the right, it races up to plus infinity. From the left, it plunges to minus infinity. The two sides disagree, so there is no two-sided limit here, not even an infinite one. The last case turns the question around. Instead of closing in on a point, let the input run off forever. The further out you go, the closer the height creeps to 0 without ever reaching it. That flat line the curve settles onto is a horizontal asymptote, and its definition swaps the width for a starting line. Want the height within 100th of 0? Start counting past 100. So a limit is about where a function is heading, and it exists only when both sides agree on the answer.